depression. Oh my God, how mean. Why does depression even exist? All right, so we have to look at depression with new lenses in order to move the process. The depression is like a hole. People get stuck in it and they can't get out. They don't know how they got in there, and they're pointing, this is why I'm depressed. Okay, that's what started it. But in life, our response to events is our responsibility. So what happens when there's an event, we have an emotional response, but in actuality, there is also a chemical response going on. The brain, there's a bunch of them, it's not just one. Everything's going on and the brain's just like, oh, and then our physical, we have chemicals, so it's a chemical soup. In a way, it's like we have a low immune system and then we're susceptible to sicknesses. So now we have a system, our chemical system, and depression got in there. So if you're all like happy high five and everything's great and you can point to all the things, I'm happy because, well, we shouldn't be happy because if those things collapse, then our state of being, our state of wellness is dependent on relationships and money and all kinds of other stuff. When we become more self-resourced, we won't be as susceptible to these diseases and chemical responses to outside life. Okay, fine, that's great, it's all logical. What do you do when you're in depression? So think of it, I say, just an example, right? Because you might as well try something. Of a neighborhood that you walked into and you're like, oh, I'm not really, is this my neighborhood? Is this a safe neighborhood? Should I be in this neighborhood? It could be a very familiar neighborhood because, again, what is familiar is family, is love. So even if it's abuse, you're like, this is what I know. This is my people. This is my home. This is where I'm from. So the body, whatever's familiar, loves that. It's not true. It's real. It's like a real experience, but it's not the truth of who you are. So if someone finds themselves in depression, they can say, oh, I'm in depression. Step number 1, identification. Because if you're under the water, you don't realize, you're like, hey, what's going on? And as soon as you get above surface, you're like, I'm in depression. That's huge. Now you can make a better choice, a different choice. Keep moving, like surrender into the state. Like, yes, I accept that I'm in this situation. Now I will move through the situation. So, because you're like, should I surrender or should I fight? No fighting. Fighting energizes the thing we're fighting against. So we surrender, we say, yes, I'm in this horrible situation, and now I am moving forward. So back to the neighborhood scenario. We look for directions. We ask a friend. We call a doctor. We do what we need to do to get out of that neighborhood. And you start paying attention, tracking, I call it. Okay, what am I doing now? Oh, I'm on Pity Street. Damn, Pity Street. Okay, I better take a left turn over here. Okay, I'm on Numb Street. Okay, just be really clear. Make red flashing lights, cones, Suicide Street, Boulevard, whatever you want to call it, is not allowed. Do not go on that road. It's tempting because it looks like there's something there, and it has like this draw to it. You say, no. Just like when you're on a diet and part of you wants to go get some junk food, you're like, no, We made a commitment, we made a promise, we're not doing that. So it's the same no. Even if you're in depression, you can say no to the suicide road or the I'm a victim road or whatever road is on this in this neighborhood. It is important for us to try and get out of the neighborhood. So if we can memorize the streets that we take, because each system, each person's system is going to be different based on their trauma. What road can I take out of here? What are the things that get me out of here? So physical body movement, moving our bodies changes the chemistry. So those dark, deep chemicals that are causing us to stay in that funk will change when we move our body. So moving our body is the most important thing we can do to get out. Asking for help, another important thing to do. Getting sunshine. That vitamin D will start melting all of the bad stuff. Making a list of gratitude, because that changes the focus. So think of somebody in a room and there's a fish tank there, an empty fish tank, and all they're doing is staring at the fish tank. Fish tanks are amazing. You're just like looking, and all of a sudden you're in this other little world, but they're just staring at the fish tank, and there's other things going on. There's a kitchen full of food. There's a friend who you can call on the phone. There is a patio to go sit on. There's books. There's journals. There's a pet who wants your attention. So stop looking at the fish tank. Pull yourself out and say, okay, I need to make another choice because I'm not feeling alive in this moment. And this is my day. So depression, stop robbing my life. You can talk to depression. You can talk to anxiety. You can talk to fear. You can talk to greed. So when we have these places that we don't like, that we're in, pull yourself up enough to say, oh, look, I'm in this thing. Let me get the hell out of here. I don't belong here. Thoughts will feed the chemical. So a thought is just like pushing the button, like a drug, right? You're just addicted to depression, addicted to grief, addicted to anxiety. And it's just a system. So when we can have a consciousness to pull ourselves out of a system that we got sucked back into, then we can make better choices. You don't have to be the most amazing person. Just make one little better choice. All right. I hope this is helpful. Thank you.